So we're continuing here, guys, with the AC method for factoring trinomials. Okay, just a little bit different than the earlier video. If you can tell now, I threw in a negative number at the end, so a couple things are going to change. But it's really not a whole lot different. I just want to make sure that you can understand how your factors play a role here. So the steps still stay the same. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on the steps again. Okay, as I go, you'll be able to follow me. All right, so starting with number one, our step one was look for a GCF. Okay, look for a number that we can divide by. Look to shrink. In number one, we have an 18, we have a 6, we have a 60. Okay, those three numbers are evenly divisible by 6. So I'm going to divide by 6. Okay, so I divide these numbers by 6. Okay, that will give me 3x squared plus 1x minus 6 divided by 6 is negative 10. Okay, remember, if you don't get the 6 right away, right, in that problem, you can also divide them by 2. You can also divide them by 3. In that case, you would have to shrink twice, but try and find the biggest possible number. That's just going to eliminate that middle step. Okay, so I got the 6 there as my GCF. I'm going to write that to the side. I'm going to bring that back at the end, okay, and put it in front of my factored answer, okay, because that's got to be part of my answer. Okay, 3x squared plus 1x minus 10. My next step is to multiply A with C. In this case, you got a negative number, so 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. Our next step was to list out all the factors. I have a negative number, so there's going to be double the amount of factors. I got to account for that negative number. So negative 1 and 30, negative 30 and 1, and then I work my way up listing the rest of the factors. Okay, none of these should really be a surprise to you guys. Okay, if you're having trouble listing out the factors, the numbers with these problems do tend to get a little bit bigger. Get a calculator, start with 1, and work your way up. Okay, so obviously 1 and whatever the number is are always going to be a pair. And then try dividing the number by 2. Try dividing it by 3 and keep going. Remember, when we first started talking about this stuff, guys, you're going to know you're at the end when the numbers are getting close to each other. All right. So the numbers on one side are going to get bigger, on the other side they're going to get smaller. All right, and they're going to slowly get close to each other. Okay, and then you're looking for the pair. You're looking for the pair of numbers that adds to make a positive 1 in the middle. It's got to make a positive 1. Be careful of the pair that you pick. Okay, here are the pairs that are in play. You want to pick the negative 5 and the positive 6 combination because negative 5 plus 6 is positive 1. If you picked this combination, okay, that would mean the middle number, your B term, would have to be negative 1. It's not, it's a positive 1. So be careful with your signs. The next step is to split that middle term. Be careful, guys. All right, when you split the middle term, you want to put the negative term first. So this is my combination. So the negative 5 term is going to come before the 6 term. Always put the negative first. So I'm going to write this 3x squared minus 5x plus 6x minus 10. Okay, you see there with it split in the middle, you want to put the negative first. Okay, next step is to factor this thing by grouping. Okay, so I have my two groups. Okay, I got 3 and a 5. I can't divide 3 and 5, but I can take away an x. Okay, so an x is going to go on the outside. The 3 stays. Started with 2 x's, took away 1. So I'm left with an x minus these x's will cancel out, leaving me with 5. Over in the right-hand group, I got two numbers that are evenly divisible by 2, 6 and 10. So a 2 is going to go on the outside. 6 divided by 2 is 3x minus 10 divided by 2, which is 5. All right, we're almost home free, guys. You got your repeaters, right? I called these the repeaters. All right, so I got my repeaters being one of the groups. 3x minus 5 is a group. And then I got the leftovers, right? The x and the plus 2 make your other group. And we just can't forget about that 6, right? You got to bring that 6 and put it all the way down in front. So your final answer for number 1 is 6. Whoops. 6 times the quantity 3x minus 5 times the quantity x plus 2. Okay, number 2, I'll work a little bit quicker since, hopefully now you got a little bit of an idea here. Okay, number 2, look for a GCF, right? Look for a number to shrink by. All right, looks like I got a 15, a 36, and a 27. So it looks like I can divide these by 3. I don't think there's a bigger number, but if there is, we're going to find out in a second. All right, so it's going to be 5n squared plus 12n minus 9. Yep, that's it. 3. I can't divide 5, 12, 9. So 3 is my GCF, so that's the number I got to bring back at the end. Okay, I'm going to multiply A with C. 5 times negative 9. That's negative 45. I'm going to list out my factors. Negative 1 and 45. Negative 45 and 1. 2 is not going to work. Negative 3 and 15. Negative 15 and 3. Okay, 4 is not going to work. Negative 5 and 9. Negative 9 and 5. Okay, so those are my pairs of numbers that I'll multiply to negative 45. The pair that I want is the pair that adds to positive 12. All right, the pair that I see that's going to make positive 12 is right there. Okay, negative 3 and 15. So I got a winner. Okay, so I got 5. Okay, 5n squared. That's my pair, right? Put the negative term first, negative 3n plus 15n, right? I'm splitting that middle term, minus 9. And then I'm going to go ahead and factor by grouping. Okay, here's my first group. Here's my second group. Okay, the 5 and the 3 can't be divided, but they do both have an n, so that's what I'm going to take out there. Okay, the 5 stays in that first term, started with 2 n's, took away 1, so 1's got to be left, minus. Here the n's cancel, leaving me with just a 3, plus. I got 2 numbers over here that are divisible by 3, 15 and 9, so a 3 is going to come out. 15 divided by 3, that's 5n, minus 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay. I got my repeaters, right? 5n minus 3 is my repeater. Okay, so the 5n minus 3 makes up one group. And then you got your leftovers, right? You got your n and your plus 3. Okay, they're my leftovers. So there are my 2 binomials. And then just don't forget about that GCF, right? Don't forget about 3. 3 comes down, so your final answer there to number 2 is 3 times the quantity 5n minus 3 times the quantity n plus 3. All right, really, guys, it's no different. Just make sure when you split that middle term, okay, one of your numbers in your pair is going to be negative. Make sure you put the negative term first. It's just going to make your life a whole lot easier. And be careful with your signs, guys. Okay, if you have to, check it on a calculator, right? Make sure you're using the right pair. If it's going to be a positive in the middle, make sure the numbers you pick add to make a positive. Okay, as always, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out. Okay, good luck.